Correspondent Stephen Romo joins us now with the latest. Stephen, you've been following this case since it started unfolding yesterday morning. What more do we know about the images that have now been released? And do we know when and where in the city those photos specifically were taken?
Yeah, a very important question.
What's going on?
Start right now with those new developments in the manhunt happening right now for the suspect behind the killing of United Healthcare's CEO. Police just released new
photos revealing the face. As you guys can see right here. At first, I thought it was a woman on the left. On the left, it looked like a woman almost, you know what I mean? But it could be a very effeminate man. And yeah, guys, even very effeminate man, because that they know that they're in like a sodomite lifestyle or whatever, you know what I mean? They could get very angry at times and stuff like that. But yeah, when it comes to this, you know, I've been keeping an eye on this story, and me and a couple other reactors that I pay attention to, you know, we don't believe that it was a trained assassin, because it looked like the gun jammed a couple times or whatever. But it looks more personal or whatever. So without further ado, guys, I'm just going to play this video. It's my first time seeing this. But this is brand new. They got some better photos of the shooter. And I don't think they have caught him yet. Apparently he got away on a e-bike. But the way he got away smart though, because a e-bike, you know what I mean? But in New York City, there's cameras everywhere, you know? But you know, he could have simply, you know, parked a rental vehicle or whatever that he didn't rent out in his name, you know what I mean? And then parked it in a location that was a blind spot where no cameras could, you know, see where he parked at, you know, if he went through the alley or whatever. And then took the e-bike to do the job, and then went back with the e-bike. So they're looking for a guy on an e-bike, but by the time he gets back in the alley, he already put the e-bike in the car. You know, pretty much is what I'm thinking, you know. And they're not going to put all this information together until later on, you know. But then, you know, he could have put because nowadays they got e-bikes that fold up and stuff, you know. So he could have concealed it in the car from the cameras or whatever, you know. And then took the car, like it could have been a stolen car too, you know. A lot of crimes are committed in stolen vehicles, you know, because it's not registered to the person. And then, you know, he could have dumped the car, jumped in another car, and just to kind of clean the trail, right? So that's basically what I'm thinking. But obviously he wasn't smart to have his face cheesing like this, smiling like this, you know, in the camera. But, you know, it's New York City. It's cameras everywhere, guys. But it looks like on the left, this might have been, like, they got this picture, like, of him inside, like, a store or something. But the picture on the right, it looks more of, like, the video of the shooting. So, for those of you who don't know about this, this is breaking news. I think it came out like just a couple days ago.
Asking for the public's help in identifying the person seen in these photos. A senior law enforcement official says they found.
So with these photos, with him smiling and everything, I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to be identified by somebody, on Facebook or whatever.
Words written on shell casings at the scene that could be a possible message from the shooter. The killing was.
Wait, so something was written? Oh, wait, hold on. Written on shell cases?
On shell casings at the scene. Photos. A senior law enforcement official says they found words written on shell casings at the scene that could be a possible message from the shooter.
That's crazy. Words were written on the shell cases. So, he shot him multiple times.
Killing was captured in this chilling surveillance.
As you guys can see, right here is the shooter. And I think it's the guy in the blue jacket. Guys, sorry I ended the video on accident. When I was trying to close the paintbrush.
Footage Wednesday morning. Thompson was on his way to speak at an investor meeting when a man wearing a black hoodie and a ski mask fired multiple rounds from behind. Investigators say Thompson was shot at least twice in his back and in his calf.
Twice in his back and in his calf. He was shot at least twice in his back and his calf. Now, this guy is walking around with no security. He might not be famous, but I believe he's a multi-billionaire or millionaire. But this guy, with all this money and, his status, he should definitely have, like, some security. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy.
Officials also revealed the alleged shooter fled on an e-bike.
So he fled on an e-bike. He went through an alley, grabs an e-bike, and rides into Central Park. And in New York, guys, I used to work in New York, but they got like e-bikes everywhere that you could actually rent. So this might have been like a rented e-bike that he took advantage of,
And rode towards Central Park. NBC News correspondent Stephen Romo joins us now with the latest. Stephen, you've been following this case since it started unfolding yesterday morning. What more do we know about the images that have now been released? And do we know when and where in the city those photos specifically were taken?
Yeah, a very important question, Morgan. We do not know right now from NYPD where those photos were taken. We do see such a clear image of the suspected shooter's face. He's even smiling in one of them with that mask down, and that could go a long way in helping to identify who this person is. We know police are looking at least exactly what law enforcement experts said they would be doing, trying to retrace the shooter's steps leading up to the encounter that he had with Thompson right outside this Hilton Hotel in Midtown. We are working to get more information from NYPD, who have not had an official press briefing today about these images and where they came from, but they clearly put them out because they are hoping that anyone with information will call them.
Stephen, speaking of chilling, we've been talking about the words that were actually on the shell casings that were found. What were the words?
Yeah, deny, defend, and depose were those words found on those shell casings.
Deny, defend, and oppose. So this was an investor meeting, guys. Apparently this guy took out this guy because he was denying what he wanted to do. What the guy that he often wanted to do, defending what he wanted to do and opposing against the other guy and what he wanted to do. Deny, defend, oppose.
Those 3 shell casings that police found right outside, and they really are saying that that could be an...
So 3 shell casings, 2 in the back, 1 in the calf. It looks like he didn't miss once, and he shot thrice, 3 times. He didn't miss once. Although I do believe that the gun jammed at certain times, so he probably wanted to let off more, you know what I mean? But only 3, all 3 hit him and unalived him.
Indicator of motive, though it's not clear exactly what that...
It wasn't a trained professional assassin, because if it was, he wouldn't have shot him in the calf. All 3 would have shot, like, you know, the torso region where all the vital organs are, although there is, you know, like a main artery in the thigh, but that's the thigh, not the calf, you know. And because the gun was jamming, so this was a personal vendetta. It wasn't a trained assassin, like I think a lot of people originally were thinking, you know. But it's obviously premeditated, and it was planned out, and it was protest. And again, if the guy was a trained assassin, he would have been smart enough, you know, not to have his face smiling on a public camera.
Motive is. And speaking with a law enforcement expert, Jim Kavanaugh, about this, he's saying that makes him think that this may not be a professional hit. The NYPD stopped short yesterday of saying this was the work of a professional hitman. Some of the other things indicated as well from Jim Kavanaugh, the distance away that this shooter was when it happened, the words themselves being on the bullets, those aren't things that they typically see in a situation like that. It could help them find a way to trace and track down where this shooter may be. But we did hear from Mayor Eric Adams earlier today, and here's what he had to say about the likelihood of catching this person.
In all of my years of law enforcement, I have never seen a silencer before. And so that was really something that was shocking to us all. And so So
yeah, that's another thing. He had a silencer on his gun. And I mean, nowadays it's very easy for people to get silencers and everything for their weapons.
Right path, and we believe we're going to apprehend this person.
Now, there are more questions that we have as well, Morgan, knowing about these threats that Paulette Thompson told us about yesterday, that they had heard from different places without a clear detail about what those threats are. We're waiting to hear more about that, and why Thompson didn't have a security detail with him in light of those threats. Morgan?
Yeah, a lot more questions than answers.
So apparently it was threats already.
At this point, Stephen Romo on the ground floor. Stephen, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking.
And this happened like 6:30 in the morning. So, and the guy, they said was pretty much waiting all night. So he might not have known exactly what time he would be arriving, but he knew the location where he was arriving at this hotel for this investment meeting, you know. But I think he waited all night, but he probably knew he was going to get there like really early, so he probably started and waiting and looking out for him at like 4:30, you know what I mean, 4 or 4:30. And then I think he got him around 6 or 6:30 when he was on his way walking into the building, and he shot him right outside the building.
News and top stories on the NBC.
So, yeah, this is breaking news, guys. This is the NYC healthcare CEO unaliving. I guess I'll title this. Thank you guys for watching. as I continue to bring you breaking news, and a variety of different topics on my channel. In Jesus' name, thanks for watching and stay tuned. Peace.